Today, we take ideas like supply and demand for granted. But, like supply and demand, the modern field of economics was invented by a man named Adam Smith. Many key parts of economics are based on Adam Smith's ideas. Hello and welcome back to Economic History Files. I'm Alexander Paris-Callahan. Today, we are talking about Adam Smith's economic theories. Smith was born in 1723 in Scotland. He was sickly as a child and focused on academics. At 14, he went to the University of Glasgow, where he later became a professor. Fast forward to 1776. Smith published his seminal work, The Wealth of Nations. This book laid out Smith's key economic theories, many of which are still taken as fact today. Here are two of Smith's key theories. The first is the notion of the invisible hand. Smith claimed that prices in a market are run by an invisible, self-regulating force, the so-called invisible hand. The invisible hand means that sellers sell at a price that will benefit themselves the most. This price often turns out to also be the best price for society and for buyers. The invisible hand also determines how much quantity is produced, which turns out to be the correct amount given what buyers want. This invisible hand is, of course, today called supply and demand. The level of supply and demand determines both the market price and the quantity produced on its own. Smith argued that governments should not regulate markets because supply and demand is self-regulating and produces the prices best for society and for buyers on its own without any interference. Smith also claimed that GDP is what determines a country's wealth. Of course, this was long before the GDP statistic was created in the 1940s. At this time, countries thought their wealth was determined by the amount of gold and silver in their vaults. Countries would establish protectionist trade policies in order to keep more gold and silver in. This system was called mercantilism. You can see my video on it up in the corner. Mercantilism benefited a country's producers, in particular because its protectionist policies protected them from foreign competition. Adam Smith came in and said, "Oh no, it's not how much precious metal you have that determines your wealth, it's how much you produce." The thing is, one country can't produce everything. Countries need to import things they can't produce themselves and export things they specialize in. Smith added that mercantilism's protectionist policies hurts consumers. A key policy of mercantilism is creating tariffs, which of course make foreign products more expensive. Consumers then consume less. Of course, the end goal of production is consumption, meaning that forcing less consumption, mercantilism makes itself a bit of a contradiction. Because of Adam Smith, we know that prices are determined by the invisible yet powerful force of supply and demand. And also, we know that we don't need to hoard gold. Thank you for watching this episode of Economic History Files. Please like and subscribe for more on the history of money.